Hello and welcome to another episode here on Gorbad Ironclaw. So what do we have? I spent a few turns, basically. I did get some, whenever I'm showcasing some stuff, I always forget what I haven't showcased. So what I have is I've gifted Woodbat back to our friends to issue for peace because I want to go after Wissenland. Because Reichland, I conquered Altdorf, so I'm... it was basically an auto-resolve. Remember from the last episode, he moved away his armies. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna take that. So, and the beast catchers, they are trying to attack here in Karakzorn, but that's difficult. And I'm thinking on moving Tricky back here, because there's no way I can fight all those high elf armies. I've been fighting some and retreating. I think I defeated so far maybe 4 armies already of the Wood Elves, but all easy. Like I have my 2 armies with a Wog against one of theirs, or an interception that works really well. So that's in essence what I've been doing, and now I'm preparing the attack here on Wissenland, and I'm just trying to check where his armies are, and all I can find is 1.5. There's one entirely in Slovenia. So this is something from the AI that it's kind of weird. It can sometimes it's in peace, but I literally have armies around his territory and he's not building armies. Well, he's trying now, but I mean, I could have gone for it. So over here I did fought a few battles and managed to win. Okay, that's why whenever you see that of course my forces have this, so some skills, it's because I fought the armies, right? And that's the last tech. So we have the full tech tree by turn 137, even if I was not really rushing it. So that's good. 137 turns and you have all the tech tree. That's one less thing to do. I wish there was some, Civ games had future tech. And it gave you something extra. So I think they should have a future tech that just gives you what you need to paint a map. And what you need to paint a map is like reduced upkeep, or you need a faster XP for your units and for your armies. Oh, you need more supplies for your sieges in case you want to defend, or you need to defend or keep the enemy from attacking you, really. Or just give you more of the specific, maybe like maybe 500 more gold every turn, or maybe it gives you extra scrap or extra food, or depending on the type of everyone kind of has their own currency nowadays, different currencies, so that's cool. Okay, let's go for Magritta here. Yeah, let's take it. This would have been a good siege to showcase. That was silly. That was really silly. Oh, sorry guys. That would have been a great siege. That's the problem, because I'm focusing on... Okay, I have to show some Wood Elf battles, okay? Just to showcase how I deal with them. And then I completely forget about these ones, I still cannot get Arcane Conduit. Yeah, I need 8 here. So like 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, it's almost all of them. It's fine. And it's good because the other one can focus, the other caster can focus on something else. So I have like 2 foots of quirk, and that army alone, come on, can do a lot. So yeah, these 2 armies, I can beat them if I have like the garrison army as well as the Wog army following me around, But it's still difficult. And what I want is either I send this or I send this. I'm going to send Tricky, because he does have that underway stance attacking. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I have 50k, so that's okay. Yeah, he actually attacked and was defeated there. So, and another case that I haven't shown on these episodes is that I have now alliances with with Slanesh, with Dreadfleet, with Nagarond, and that's great to have some good units. And I'll try to showcase them later on with an army. Maybe get some Change Bringers, maybe get some Chosen. I don't know. It will depend on the type of army that I'm building, of course, to do it. I think Changebringers would be amazing because they have that flammable effect, and then I have all those fire spiders, so it's like insane damage. Now that I'm thinking, I'm drooling. Yeah, I need to make one of those armies. So the Spider Rider Archers and the Lava Spiders are really good on itself. They are an army in itself, and then you can have the scrap upgrades in them, you can have the redline skills. Yeah, so that's cool. Now, as I'm getting ready, I was about to declare war. He has a ton of armies here, 4 armies here. I think that I'm gonna bring the scout. Where is he? see how fast he went. I mean, look at the range. This is a bug. This guy has a bug, that's for sure. There's no way anyone has so much movement. I think he kept, because this was from a confederation, I think he kept something that from the other guy that just gave him a lot of movement speed, and he kept it for whatever reason. He needs to have like traits or something like that, giving like 50%. It's not 50%. He has impossible movement. No one can have so much movement. So yeah, I guess the AI can. No, actually, they don't cheat like that. There's a lot of people say, "Oh, the AI cheats." Yeah, but not so much. You suck. No, the AI cheats, but they are kind of known. As in, it's not like there's a reason for those cheats. It's that it speeds up everything. The AI doesn't take too long during turns. I think we're still at the point where the AI would need a lot of time to think, to properly do an AI that would think. It's still difficult. So yeah, I think this guy actually fought one interception battle and won. And I'm just checking, do I need anything in the red line skills? No. I definitely need some leadership for him specifically, but I want to go hard to hit. Don't neglect leadership. You always see me neglecting it because I have a lot of ways of getting it in battle, and I don't put them too much in danger. But if you're a new player, don't really neglect leadership. Oh, this army is... If my army was full, I could fight this. Because they are not. It's very difficult to see, the yellow line, the yellow where my units are incomplete, they are halfway. So I gotta move and put myself in ambush. Not to ambush, just to hide. That's the purpose. I want that army to hide. And these armies, yeah, I'm doing mostly checking skills, but yeah. What can I get? Orc Boar Boys and Sneaky Stabbers. Yeah, definitely. Art Lads. What do I have most? No, not that one. Yeah, Sneaky Stabbers. I was checking who had more, which units had level 7, and the most is actually just all of those wolf riders and chariots, goblin wolf chariots, and etc. Okay, so an interception here. This is happening all the time. See, this is Spite Backbiter with the giants, with the rogue idols, with the catapults. And this is good because it's actually what I want to showcase. It's an army that has orc boys. And they still haven't the scrap upgrades. So, I mean, these are not exactly the good orc boys. They're just basic plain orc boys. They're still not very good. But the enemy doesn't have a lot of good units. He does have Eternal Guard, which are armor piercing. I'm using this formation here because all around the big gun, because he gives them... I cannot show them because I cannot select him. But they have the idle loading. So it gives them a lot of... It's one tactic that gives them, the artillery, a lot of good armor piercing and damage. So that's great versus the Wood Elves, so that they can focus fire missile units, Now, here's where the AI is actually going to cheat in a way that I never expected. Look at what he did. Look. He's hiding behind this tree. And it's actually going to work. See, some of the hits, look, are going to hit the tree, not the enemy. I didn't know this was possible. But yeah, he goes through that tree, and yeah, it's a big tree, actually. That alone would give wood to build a skyscraper out of wood. Yeah. There's magic and such. You can do this. I'm missing a lot of shots. It's amazing, but still, it's not just that. It's the reduced speed. So suddenly he's splitting up his armies. He's actually sending in his wild riders in first. And yeah, my orc boys can deal with this, especially with the giants nearby. Yeah. And note, the enemy is only doing this because he believes that he can win the fight and the engagement. These are sisters, by the way, of the Thorn. He believes he can win the fight, but I mean, have a lot of archers, have giants here, have a lot of good options. A Flock of Doom on my orc boys. And I use a Purple Sun. I didn't manage to catch that second unit there. But at least it's, you know, it's forcing him not to move through. And it's giving some damage. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm just sending the single entities. Send the single entities in with your infantry. And that's how this army works well. You know, and the archers just hit anything that is easy to hit. Anything that is flying, anything that is big like this lord, you know, entities that are behind like the enemy missiles, that sort of idea. Man, the sound is really high for the battle. I'm gonna have to turn it down a little bit. So by the time that you hear this, likely the sound is not as loud. But yeah, 2 giants and an Arachnotic spider against his lord. They're doing God's work. So now it's the problem of too many archers. The wood elves can always do so much damage with their archers. You gotta be careful. I think even the wood elves, people say about the back line of the dwarves and empire. No, the wood elves are just so dangerous with their back line because everything is like super armor piercing. No matter what they bring tons of them. They have incredible accuracy, so it's really difficult. So that rogue idol actually works as a bodyguard for that artillery, so I didn't even bother with that. And now I'm moving in some forces. Now that the enemy lord is dying, I'm sending in my lord over there. Yeah, against wood elves, if you have like an army from like Rachnik, which has summons, just makes them struggle. Summons are really good against wood elves because it just forces the enemy to skirmish away. And yes, many of them can fire while moving, but it's still great to just, you know, force them to hit the summons and while you're focusing down the rest of the army. And it's a great way to play as well. I mean, look at the detail, the articulation of this. So good. Sometimes I forget how beautiful the game is, actually. And I'm just trying to poison them. So as you can see, I'm taking out most of the enemy here. This is a treeman, which I'm focusing fire on. Or I'm just trying to focus fire on. And my artillery is hitting the enemy missile units. But here's the deal. Look how difficult it was to force them out. You know, to force their... to force them to rout away. And that's a big take as well from the wood elves. Their leadership is surprisingly high. High elves have like the normal leadership. You know, elves in fact have the normal leadership. And they have very much the lowest hit points of many units. So they're surprisingly resilient actually, the wood elves, compared to other elven armies, you know? Like dark elves would have gone much sooner, you know. They would have done a little bit more damage, but they would have gone much sooner. So it would be more a case of not letting them fire too much. So Thoric doesn't have any settlements. I believe he has 1 army. So what I want is to attack the beast catchers here and defeat them. And then I was thinking of going against Khalida before she becomes a problem. Okay, I didn't use the leadership flags. The Magnus Quicks are unbreakable. Sorry, what am I doing? The night bubbles? Yeah, definitely. And then use some on those archers. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, beast catchers has been destroyed. That's great. So I could have 1 army there. Because I'm glad that Bretonnia is not attacking. They are so focused fighting Zinch that for now I'm glad. You know, he has one army, I have one army defending, and that's it. He won't attack me. And that's something that you always have to check. This works exactly like in real life. Hey, if an enemy, you know, if a country starts putting armies near and forces near your borders, you know they're coming in. So the same thing happens with Total War. If you see them massing armies near a border, just prepare for war because they're coming for you. If you see them raiding, that's 100% they're gonna attack you very soon. So be careful. So the Wood Elves are doing this really well, where they are not splitting their forces too much. They're splitting here and there, but I'm not catching too much. I've cleaned those armies there, those Wood Elf armies there with Rachnik, because he kind of has like typical lightning strike. And now I want to declare on Wisseland. He's strength rank 3. So let me see who offers more money. I checked who he was at war with.
Living or dead, why are you worthy of my time?
She gives me 3,400. Doesn't seem like enough. No, what do I want? I do have to exit. Okay, Dreadfleet. How much do you give me? 6,000. Okay, that's a better prospect. Always try to gain this, and by doing this, actually, you avoid their allies. This is something I need to make a video about this. Oh, 7,000. This guy actually, the last one is the one offering more. I think he heard the offers from the other ones and wanted to pay up. And I'm no longer on a deficit. That's because I'm raiding so much. That's because I'm raiding so much. So I can get a Pyrrhic victory here, and again, I could have done the siege. I'm silly. But because we have so many, you know, I have so much to go for. So this is me attacking. Actually, I'm not going to go for that because the army from Nuln can go over there and cannot reach Pissenberg. So yeah, I'm going to lose my WOG units. But at this point, yeah, it's 4 turns for the WOG armies to disappear. And that's very important. So then right now I have to use this. And that's why it prompted me to attack. Okay, I'm already at almost 100k with this. Later on I'll fix all the buildings and do everything. So you're gonna go for, you have everything. You don't see me looking, but I'm not moving the mouse button, but I'm checking if there's anything incomplete. So I'm gonna attack Castle Drakenhof here. Okay, Valiant defeat, so no, let me just build some siege engines in case we still have a bad outcome with this army reinforcing. Let me remove that. And let's move here. How about now? Do I lose any units? Okay, nothing there, so it's fine. If I lose from the reinforcements, it's really fine, because those are WOG armies. And the WOG armies are okay, especially to give you the best auto-resolve scenario here. But I'm about to lose the WOG capabilities, so I gotta be careful, you know? So I'm gonna go over here, and then Castle Tempelhof. Like, I conquer 5 places from him. I think 7 places actually in total on this first few battles. Yeah, let's attack here as well. Yeah, decisive victory. These are almost all decisive victories because I have the WOG army and it counts them a lot. It shouldn't count too much. A second army, I think after a second army, it shouldn't affect, you know, the fact that you have a 3rd or 4th army, it really shouldn't affect auto-resolve. And I think that's a big issue. Because you can only field 40 units. And if this is where the AI gets, it's so weird. It is actually impossible unless, well, it's not impossible, but unless you move your units and withdraw them in good order, okay, you cannot, literally, you cannot have more than 40 units in a battle. So how come when there's 4 armies versus 4 armies, your 4 armies get all halfway in health or all have casualties, when there's no way, unless you have removed the other units and moved the second set of units in place, there's no way that you could have even have them in the battle. You see the point? Like, only the 2 first armies or the 40 first units will actually fight on the battle, and then if you lose any, of course, that will be fine. But in the auto-resolve, many times you have 4 armies, and you don't lose any units. So how did he engage? You see what I'm saying? It's difficult. But yeah. So I think the auto resolve shouldn't consider ever. Okay, I have a lot of scrap. I'm gonna go for these guys. Yeah. The auto resolve shouldn't ever consider that costs too much for what I want now. The passive ability, that's 110. So let me just make sure that these guys have everything. Yeah, let's go. Actually, it costs 100. So let me go for the cheapest ones. Yeah. So as I was saying, it shouldn't, the auto resolve should never consider the oh, I can actually upgrade a ton of them. Look at that. All of that is in full. So that army starts being a scrap army. Really good. Auto resolve should never consider more than 2 armies. Done. More than 40 units, it should never done it. I gotta start Wurzag, giving them the armor, giving them everything, because those dudes will get so powerful under Wurzag, and I have to make this army really powerful. So after that army that I've made with the giants is fully with the scrap, then the tricky is gonna be next. That Squig army. Oh, Orion actually has that Ariel with him, and if Orion is here, he has abandoned his main settlements. I gotta check that out. Yeah, you can't even see his movement. How ridiculous this is. This guy is doing marathons. I mean, forget the Greek guy at marathon.
Devotee of the lady, we have met before.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. It's impossible. Should I go north? Or should I go south? I don't know. Maybe I'll go north because I really need to check what the Empire is doing. But yeah. Later on in this episode, what I'm going to do is just start fixing all the buildings and everything like that, okay? I have to start deciding what I showcase to you or not in better ways, and I hope I'm deciding well. I try to give you some tips and what I'm thinking about, more in a grand strategy theme rather than just the small bits, let's say. One thing that I'm going to do as well is check out the items and fuse them. If you want to check me fusing all the items and having a little bit brief overview on the items that I would use, you can check out the other video that I've done. It's on the tips playlist, which you should have seen already. If you haven't, go watch it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next episode. Bye bye.